Welcome to our first regular season Garden Report Live. I'm Jared Weiss. I'm joined by Jimmy Toscano. Before we talk about the Celtics, we have to talk about our sponsor, Indochino Custom Menswear. You can get the perfect made-to-measure suit from Indochino, and using our code GARDEN, I think you know how to spell garden, you can now get it for half price at $389. Go to their showroom on Newbury Street in Boston and get yourself fitted for a perfect shirt. We have some awesome stuff coming for us soon so we can show off our Indochino gear. So that is the promo code GARDEN to go to Indochino. Now, let's talk about the Celtics.
We're going to have a fashion show when we get that.
I mean, we're already kind of getting it started now, but now let's talk about the Celtics, who were very fashionable in the first half and very drag looking, I guess, in the second half. It was not pretty. They got completely lost at the end of that game. But in the first half, Al Horford makes that offense complete. They really looked like the team that Brad Stevens has been trying to run out there for the last 3 years.
Avery Bradley couldn't wait to commend Al Horford after the game. He was just waiting for somebody to ask about Al Horford. I'm not even sure somebody asked about him. I think he just went off on Al Horford and said how great of a complimentary player, not a team player that he is. If you look at Al Horford's stat line, you're not going to be wowed by the points or the rebounds. I think it was like 11 and 5 or something like that. But 4 blocks, and he's just that basketball mind, that mentality where he's thinking about the next pass. He's thinking about where the ball is going to be. He's finding the open man, and that's contagious. And we saw that with the Hawks his entire career. And people a couple years ago, or even last year, said the Celtics are kind of like the Hawks in that sense. And now they really are, because you took the main piece of that whole system and you brought them over here.
They pretty much are the Hawks from last year, or really 2 years ago when that team was a 60-win team. And you just see that the way that they move the ball, they're moving it side to side, they're swinging it around the horn. They got so many wide open shots, like comically open shots. And we know that they're playing against the Brooklyn Nets, but still, I mean, the way that Thomas could drive the lane, get underneath the hoop, and then just whip a pass out to a wide open Al Horford. Horford, his first 3 or 4 shots of the game were just wide open threes.
I felt like almost every other shot, or even more than that, they were having wide open looks. And they were missing some of them. So, and those shots are going to fall. They still shot over 50% tonight. Now we're going to say, oh, it's the Nets, They're still NBA players. Now, granted, it's the Nets. I mean, I totally understand that. But they're competing, to their greatest ability. They're not trying to get blown out of the building. And we saw that in the fourth quarter. They came all the way back. So it's not like they just had their foot off the gas the entire game. But yeah, the Celtics, with guys like Horford and with the way Crowder was shooting, it looks like he's improved his shot. I mean, I know it's a very small sample size, but obviously he was working hard over the offseason. These guys, 7 for 14, 7 for 15 from the field, 9 for 15, whatever it is, they're just hitting the shots because they're getting them.
I mean, they're not going to face a lot of Louis Scola and Trevor Booker front courts this season. That was a nice little way to ease into the NBA. Well, that's true. 3 more times at least. But let's go to Jay Crowder. Yeah. He was asked after the game, is it your mechanics? What is it about your shot that makes you so much better right now? And he was just like, I'm healthy. I'm finally healthy again, because he has not been consistently healthy his entire career pretty much.
You have to hope that health sticks around. I mean, if this is healthy Jay Crowder, then I guess he's never been healthy, because it's the best Crowder we've seen. And I mean, like I said, short sample size, 8 threes tonight, a lot of threes for him. But that's his game now. I mean, he's stretched out his game. People are going to have to honor that shot because I think he, like I said, 9 for 15. He was from the field tonight, and he's that energy guy. He's the epitome of the Celtics in a good way. I mean, like he's the heart and soul of the team. I think. I mean, you can add Horford. You got Bradley. Isaiah Thomas is a huge part of the team. But I think Crowder is kind of like the identity. Is the word I want to use. The identity of the Celtics. So it's good to see him starting off on the right foot and healthy.
And I thought
can't help on the sidelines.
Sure, but I thought the most important play from Crowder was actually a pass he made, where I think it was Isaiah Thomas fed him the ball up towards the free throw line, and he kind of volleyball setted it over to Al Horford, who had a seal on Hamilton, or a Holiday, I'm sorry, and then had an easy dunk. And they didn't have a guy that could get an inside seal for the last 4 years, and they didn't have a big man that could dunk the ball reliably in traffic. Al Horford is that guy, I guess. So we're going to come back for part 2 on the Garden Report Live, brought to you by Indochino Custom Menswear, and we're going to talk about the rookie.